Example 8. The corresponding data for electricity generated by hydropower are 248 million megawatt hours in 2007 and 277 million megawatt hours in 2012. Write a linear model that represents the number of megawatt hours generated by hydropower as a function of the number of years since 2007. Now, let's think about it. If I have a table, this would be my x, this would be my y. Now we have to figure out what is representing our independent variable and what is representing our dependent variable. And in here we have megawatt hours and we have years. So are the megawatt hours dependent on how many years go by, or do the years depend on how many megawatt hours? And the way we're thinking about this is time, years, is independent. We can't change time going by. So this is our years since 2007. And then over here, we have our megawatt hours. Now, we have 2 years here. We have megawatt hours in 2007, and we have megawatt in 2012. So if I start with 2007, how many years since 2007 is that? And that's 0, because that's our starting place. And in 2007, which is 0 years since 2007, I have 248 million megawatt hours. So maybe I should put million on here. Then we're going to go to 2012. Well, 2012 is how many years since 2007? So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 5 years since 2007. And we have 277 million megawatt hours. Now, we need a linear model that represents the number of megawatt hours generated by hydropower. So a linear model would be y equals mx plus b. Keeping in mind at the moment, our years are representing our x and our megawatt hours are representing our y. In order to do this, the first thing I'm going to need is our slope. So slope, change in y, over change in x. For my change in y, I'm going to take my 277 minus my 248. Over my change in x, so 5 minus 0. 277 minus 248 is 29. And then over 5. 29 divided by 5 is 5.8. And then to be specific, that's 5.8 megawatt hours per year. So the megawatt hours generated for electricity generated by hydropower are increasing every year by 5.8 megawatt hours. Now, if I go back to my function, we had y equals mx plus b, so I have y equals m, which is 5.8, x plus my y-intercept. Well, your y-intercept is when your x value is 0, which is actually sitting right here. We started in 2007 with 248 million megawatt hours. So I'm going to put 248, and that's our equation. Now, it specifically says a function of the number of years. So if we wanted to change this a little bit, I would be okay with this answer. But if this is my years, I could probably change, instead of this variable x, I could make this a t for time. And then megawatt hours, we could probably make this like, I'm trying to think of a good variable, maybe like a big M for megawatt. So we could say M of t equals 5.8 t plus 248. And that would be a function, your megawatt hours with respect to time, the number of years.